Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So Jay, David Benavidez absolutely destroyed Demetrius Andrade. I mean, it was absolute destruction. And I want to take my time on this because we did a prediction video, and in that prediction video, you picked David Benavidez to win. I think you had him. What was it? Unanimous decision. I think you had him.
No, I had him by a knockout by like round 8.
Okay. And I had Andre by unanimous decision. And it's interesting to see how the fight played out because you can see elements of some of the things that you said and elements of some of the things that I said. In regards to Demetrius Andrade, I felt like he wasn't going to be moving around in the ring like Caleb Plant did. And he did a really good job of that the first, let's call it 2.5 rounds, evading shots, being slick on the inside, getting shots off, getting his combinations off, so forth and so on. And then there was a change in round 3. I gave Andrade the first 2 rounds. There was a change in round 3. And then once round 3, the end of round 3 happened, we were on the phone talking about this the entire time the fight was going on. I quickly said, this fight is over. I said the fight was over after round 3.
Yeah.
I said, this fight is over. And you could see the accumulation building. You could see the pressure building. And pressure bust pipes. And Andrade, for as slick as he is, this is what made Floyd Mayweather so special. And I said this when you and I were on the phone talking. This is what made Floyd so special. Because Floyd could sit in the pocket. He could be in the pocket with you trying to apply your pressure and evade all of your punches. Meaning he didn't necessarily have to utilize a lot of movement to avoid or evade the pressure. He could evade the pressure literally from the pocket inside doing all this stuff. Andrade, although slick, could not evade that pressure. He tried. He did it successfully for 2 rounds, but could not sustain it. And ultimately, he just got absolutely destroyed from rounds. The second half of round 3 to round 6, he got obliterated. He got obliterated. And we saw so many people in the comments section talking about skills pay the bill, skills pay the bill, skills pay the bill. And I believe that. I believe that as well. But we must also recognize that a skill is the ability to pressure. That's also a skill. That's also a skill. And it came out today. The skill, the pressure, the power, it was too much for Boo Boo Andrade. And he wilted. So Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and it played out very similar to what I kind of figured. I kept saying in that prediction video that Boo Boo would muddy it up. He would have to muddy it up by not necessarily being dirty, but making it rough. Making David get frustrated, and that's what he did in the first 2 rounds. He was able to evade him. He was able to tie him up, kind of push him around, and try to impose his will a little bit. Tried to do that. By the 3rd round, things started switching. I think what happened in the 3rd round, Benavidez started getting his timing down. Benavidez stayed calm, didn't get frustrated. And I think Benavidez calm with a body shot that kind of slowed him down a little bit. And then the 4th round was when everything just went straight down the drain for him. And after that, he couldn't recover because, like I thought, David would do punches and bunches, and that educated pressure is what made him wilt. He said at the end, he meaning Boo Boo, saying that this is his 3rd weight class. This is only his 2nd fight at 168. He was pretty much trying to dare him to be great, and the size was just too much for him. I was like, yeah, you can say the size, although he came in a little bit bigger than David as far as weight-wise, but skills, you got to give David credit. David has skills, because a lot of the stuff that Boo Boo was doing, David was blocking.
Mm-hmm.
David was blocking. His defense showed up. Some people said he had no feet. He didn't have this or that.
Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley.
One of the ones that said that. So I want to see when he comes out and see if he's going to, eat crow, because he just gloated on any time he was right. So, yeah, you were completely wrong, David. David has skills. He has power. He's young. He's hungry. So, this fight here showed a lot with David. I want to see if he was going to be able to keep the educated pressure on without getting frustrated with a crafty, tricky fighter. And he did that. He didn't get frustrated. He didn't let him. The only thing he did, I told you beforehand, before he actually got caught. So like David, once he gets you hurt, he can get a little lackadaisical with his defense. When that happened, Andrade caught him, I think was an uppercut, I think it was, and then
Mhm.
David got back on it and finished him off. So I mean, but this was a hell of a fight. I mean, overall the card was great, but this right here, David's showing that he's one of the top best at 168. You know, we won't know until he fights Canelo, and Canelo. I don't think this is gonna help him get the fight with Canelo. I think if anything, Canelo's gonna be like, I don't want that. I'm gonna go fight somebody else. You know, I might fight David into 2024, 2025. You know, if I fight him, but no, David did his thing. You know, Andrade showed why he's a tough fighter. He's tricky, slick in there. You know, every fighter's not going to have that advantage of the reach and I guess the size from Andrade's side that David would have on him. So a lot of people want to fight him. You know, so Andrade, he can hold his head up. He tried to try to put his game plan in there. It didn't work after he got caught in the third round and he started wilting under the pressure. Everyone's not a pressure fighter like David, and everyone doesn't throw punches and bunches. The punches and bunches, I think, was just too much for him. He just was getting hit with something, everything, and that was it for him. But congrats to David Benavidez on a good showing. Andrade, hold your head up high, man. Keep coming.
Yeah, and you mentioned Tim Bradley, and I hope this is a lesson for everybody, because this is the reason why they fight the fights, right? Because you can say, how a fighter is going to match up with another fighter all you want to on paper, but
Mm-hmm.
when the rubber actually hits the road, you don't really know what's going to happen, and you can't pretend like you're some kind of expert because a lot of people that were picking David Benavidez, same people that picked Terrence Crawford to win, and excuse me, Boo Boo Andre. And Timothy Bradley, I mean, he was audacious with it in the way that he predicted the fight was going to end up with Andre being successful and saying that, Benavidez have terrible footwork, terrible footwork, terrible footwork.
Yep.
Tim
No
Bradley has
skills.
been Tim Bradley has been in the sport for years. He is a quote unquote expert. But it also shows you guys, and that's the reason why I put that poll up, is that people who are experts, they're also biased as well. Their opinions are biased. So that doesn't necessarily mean because XYZ said, ABC, that is going to actually mean that that's going to occur. Sometimes they have a
Yeah.
biased opinion. Sometimes their opinion is not biased. That's what they truly believe is going to happen, and they're wrong. And it's just so surprising to me how boxing fans are always in the comment section talking as though they're experts and that they get every fight right. And everybody
Right.
else is a
Yeah.
casual because they got to fight right. So it is what it is. Salute to both fighters. You picked David Benavidez to win. I picked Andrade to win. Like I said, I saw the things from Andrade that I thought were going to make him successful in that fight in the first 2 rounds. I mean, it was clear and evident to me. He just couldn't sustain it.
Yeah.
Eventually, the pressure started to get to him. He wasn't able to continuously evade those shots. And the one thing that I felt, Jay, that was important to note in this particular fight was that, Andre, I thought he was going to have a little bit more pop, and have more and be able to get a little bit more of David Benavidez respect, and he wasn't able to do so. He just didn't have the size and the power to really hurt Benavidez to get his attention, to make him a little bit hesitant. And I think his style would have been more successful if he had the ability to do so. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this fight. It was a good fight. I was glad to see it, but
Yeah.
well, I can't necessarily say it was a good fight. It was a good fight for 2 rounds, and then David Benavidez put on a beating. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are